Don't go to your brother's wedding. Check your husband's garage. I opened it and saw this. I was halfway to my brother's wedding when my phone rang. It was my mother-in-law. We weren't close. In fact, she barely tolerated me. So when her name flashed on the screen, I almost didn't pick up. But something made me answer. Her voice was shaky. "Don't go to your brother's wedding," she said. "Check your husband's garage." I blinked, confused. "What?" She repeated it, slower this time. "Don't go. Check the garage." Then she hung up. I sat in silence, my hands tight on the steering wheel. The highway stretched ahead of me, but I wasn't thinking about the road anymore. I was thinking about her voice. She sounded scared. No anger, no judgment, just fear. It made no sense. My husband, Jordan, wasn't even home. He said he'd be at the office all weekend, a business trip. He didn't care much for weddings. When I left this morning, he barely looked up from his laptop, but something about the call wouldn't let go. I took the next exit and turned around. 30 minutes later, I pulled into our driveway. The house looked exactly as I left it. Silent, still, too still. I walked up to the garage, holding my breath. My heart was pounding. It was probably nothing. Maybe a gas leak, a wild animal? I typed in the code. The door creaked open. There was a car inside, a white Lexus SUV. We only owned one car, my husband's black sedan. I froze. I'd never seen this one before. It had tinted windows, shiny, clean. No dust, no damage. It wasn't new, but it had been kept in perfect condition, like someone cherished it. I stepped closer. My legs felt heavy. I looked inside the Lexus through the window. There was a pink baby blanket on the back seat. Next to it, a stuffed bunny. Small, soft, well-loved. My stomach dropped. I wasn't a mother. My husband had no children, at least not with me. My hands trembled as I walked around to the back of the car. The trunk wasn't locked. Inside, there was a diaper bag, neatly packed. Wipes, bottles, pacifiers. Everything someone would need for a baby. Everything I'd never seen in our home. I stood there, shaking, and then I saw the receipt. It was crumpled between the seats, but I could read it clearly. 2 days ago. Local baby store. His name on the card. I backed away from the car and closed the garage door. Something wasn't right. This wasn't just a secret. This was a whole other life. I walked into the house numb. The living room was spotless. But now, everything looked suspicious. That blanket he kept on the couch, was it really for him? The extra toothbrush in the guest bathroom? I opened the junk drawer, dug through chargers and random receipts until I found it. A set of keys I didn't recognize. One of them had a pink tag, dot, the same shade as the baby blanket. I sat down on the floor, cold seeping through my jeans. I stared at the keys, my breath shallow. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just sat there, the silence buzzing louder than any scream. And I waited, because if my husband had a secret, I was going to find every piece of it. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, staring at the keys with the pink tag. My thoughts raced, but I couldn't piece anything together. My husband, the man I thought I knew, had a second car, a baby blanket, a diaper bag, but no baby, no explanation. By morning, I wasn't scared anymore. I was angry. I waited until 8 a.m., then called Jordan. He didn't pick up. I didn't leave a voicemail. Instead, I got dressed, grabbed the mysterious keys, and followed my instincts. There was only one place nearby where a second car could be hidden: a rented storage unit. He'd mentioned once, offhandedly, that he was using a small garage space for seasonal junk. I searched our emails, found a receipt from 6 months ago, unit number 46, corner of 12th and Maple. When I got there, the key slid in like it belonged. The lock clicked open. Inside, a crib, a stroller, boxes of baby clothes, all neatly labeled by age, formula containers, unopened, a rocking chair, photos. I stepped closer. Jordan holding a baby. Jordan kissing a woman's cheek. My chest tightened. The woman wasn't a stranger. It was Emily. Emily had been my best friend. We grew up together, shared everything, sleepovers, heartbreaks, dreams. Until 5 years ago, when I caught her lying about something small. I cut her off. It was messy, but final. I never expected to see her again. Definitely not in photos with my husband. And not like this. I grabbed one of the picture frames, my hands shaking. On the back, a handwritten note. Daddy, Mommy, and Luna. Our little world. Luna. They had a daughter. He named it without ever telling me. I dropped the frame and ran out of the unit. The sun was too bright. The air felt fake, like I was watching someone else's life explode. Back home, I dug deeper. There were passwords Jordan didn't know I had. I checked his backup cloud account, the one linked to an old phone I'd helped set up years ago. Messages, hundreds, from Emily. Photos of Luna growing up, birthday cakes, Halloween costumes, tiny shoes lined up at the door. And Jordan was in every frame, smiling, holding their child, living a life I never knew about. I couldn't stop scrolling. It was a perfect little family. Trips to the zoo, sleepy selfies, inside jokes. And then, a message from last week. Emily. She asked about you again. I told her you're just a work friend. Work friend. My blood boiled. He didn't just lie. He erased me from her life. I checked the time. 4:17 p.m. I didn't know where Jordan was, but I knew where he would be tonight. He had a routine. Every Thursday, he stopped by a quiet diner off 6th Street. He said it helped him clear his head. I sat in my car across the street and waited. At 6:03, he pulled in, but he wasn't alone. Emily got out of the passenger side, holding Luna's hand. The child looked like him. Same dark hair, same eyes. He picked her up and kissed her forehead. They laughed as they walked inside. My fingers clenched around the steering wheel. I wasn't sure what hurt more, the betrayal or how natural they looked together, like I never existed. I took a photo, just one. Then I drove home in silence. I didn't cry, not yet, but I wasn't done, not by a long shot. The next morning, I met with a lawyer. I didn't wait for a confrontation. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I just gathered evidence, photos, receipts, messages, and handed it all over. My lawyer's eyebrows rose with each new detail. "Do you want alimony?" he asked. "No," I said. "I want everything else." I moved fast. I closed the joint account and moved my share into a private one. I canceled his credit cards, froze anything tied to my name. I sold the second car, the Lexus, through a private buyer. Clean, quick, legal. Every dollar counted. That same day, I changed the locks. By the time Jordan got home, I was gone. My things were packed, my number blocked. But I left a note taped to the garage door. Garage full of secrets. Enjoy the silence. I didn't wait for his reaction. I didn't want to hear excuses or lies. I didn't care how sorry he might pretend to be. He had a daughter, a life, a woman he called family. Let him stay with them. I had my own life to rebuild. 2 weeks passed. Then came the message from Emily. She didn't apologize. She didn't beg. Just wrote, "I didn't know he was still married. I found out everything. I'm leaving him." I stared at the screen for a while. Then I deleted it. She made her choice years ago when she got involved with someone else's husband. Whether she knew or not, it didn't matter. She had crossed a line she could never walk back from. But I wasn't interested in revenge anymore, not directly, because karma works better when you hand her the steering wheel. I finalized the divorce without a word to Jordan. Quietly, efficiently. He never contested. Maybe he was too busy begging Emily to stay. Or maybe he was just afraid of what else I knew. But I had one last card to play. 2 days after the divorce was finalized, I went back to the storage unit. Everything was still there. The crib, the rocking chair, the baby clothes. I took photos, then I sent them to his boss, along with timestamps, proof of embezzlement, how he used company cards for personal expenses, baby supplies, gifts, rent on the second unit. It was all there in black and white. His boss replied the next day, "Thank you. We've terminated Jordan's employment effective immediately." I didn't smile. Not yet. That night, I stood in front of my mirror. For the first time in months, I looked like myself. No more wondering, no more pretending, just silence. Peaceful, honest silence. And then, for the first time, I laughed. Not because I won, but because I was finally free. Oh, and one last thing. I hadn't told anyone yet, not even my lawyer. But the test was positive. I was pregnant, and this time there would be no secrets, no lies, no double life. Just me, and a future I was finally proud of.